Make it up on and fly. Oh, I remember, but you're gonna die. Yeah, come on over. You don't know how, if you're gonna make it all. This is your fault. I close my ears and feel it broken, till I die. I'm making up. Oh, you got out the sea, falling down, make it down. Would you listen?
Hello.
Oh,
What's going on?
Um, there you go. That's better. Where you at?
Uh, I'm here. I just got the overlay on.
Oh. You mailed me. You mailed me a Google
Oh,
Map, Google Meet.
well, yeah, that is apparently a default action that iCal adds because I can't remove it.
Oh, that's I see what you're saying. Okay, it
It's like
wasn't. It
it's
just
like part of yeah. Uh,
why?
I don't understand why. It's I guess it's just one of those things. Like I click on it and I go to edit. Like it says, please do not edit this section, and I hit delete and it won't let me do it. You believe that? It's like you know how when you tell a computer to do stuff
It
and it
doesn't do
goes,
it.
I'd prefer you didn't. It's like, well,
That will happen when they get smart. You know.
uh, I mean, it already happens. Except people tell the computers, hey, stop listening to this guy when he asks you to print shit because I don't like his fucking attitude.
Oh,
He
right.
said some stuff online. He said some stuff online like, hey, that Alex guy, you know him. He's
Alex,
talking all kinds of business.
hello,
And then there were
or
three.
hello.
Yeah, that's Mr. Bogues,
Heading in stack.
El Bogarte. Oh, you're here.
Mr. Oldman.
Yes.
Oh, bogey.
The bogeyman. Yes, that picture you just sent me of the old guy, me and him with a lot more hair and him with a lot more leg stability. It's very
Is it?
nice.
How old is
Uh,
he?
How are you, gentlemen?
He's 13.
13. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that old for a dog?
Uh, I
Yeah,
mean, for a big
right?
dog,
It's like
he has
70s?
to.
No, it's not
Yeah.
70s.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's almost the
For a big dog.
90s.
Yeah.
It's 90s. Yeah.
Oh
He's
my.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because 7 times 3 is 21 times plus 70. But hey,
Mm. Dog math.
dog
Dog
math is
math.
very complicated. It's like discrete math. They're logical. They're whole numbers. They're integers. They're irrational numbers. There's a canine
Yeah.
computation, which is a totally different system. I mean, 2 plus 2 could equal 5
There's
actually,
drug math.
because if you add the increase of age over time, you could interpret that as 5. So
Hmm.
it makes sense, really.
Is for cats the same or different?
For cats,
No.
no, they can live thousands of years.
What? What are you talking about?
No, maybe not thousands, but 30 plus.
They
I've seen.
are a
No.
full,
No.
I've seen a cat 30.
to
Yeah,
No. 30?
what?
What are you talking
yeah,
about?
Like
yeah.
No, I
This
can't lie
cat,
to you.
yeah, it was I mean, like, well, the lady we uh, bought our house from, she died like I think
okay.
3 or 4 years before. I remember doing the math. Like she died
Hmm.
3 or 4 years before we bought the house, and it was vacant, and the cat just stayed there living.
Hmm.
And she had been there. She'd had the cat for like 12 years before that, and then she was some age when she came to her, and then we were there for almost 10 years.
Huh.
So, and she died in a car accident.
Oh my god, dude.
So she still would have been. She probably still would have been alive, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Fuck. You
She was
know.
king.
Yeah. Yeah. She was catching rabbits. Didn't matter, man. She was tough as shit. Like, I remember her skin was like plastic. What happened to Alex?
You got kicked out or something.
Yeah. Maybe he shouldn't have been doing that shit he shouldn't have been doing.
He's driving right now, so.
Hey, what do you know about, I'll share it with you. That's the great thing about this. Creality. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
Creality.
Mm-mm. What's that?
Let's see. Boop, 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 boop.
The hell? 3D printing? Hmm.
This is a particular kind of filament that's flexible,
Oh, that's
right?
cool.
They have wood type filament, right?
It's still plastic though. It just looks like wood, right?
I mean, it has wood bits in it. I think it's made with bits of real wood. Uh, but yeah, like, do you know these? Do you know these printers? I mean, they have an AI fast printer, right? But the Ender series is super cheap, and they're
You can't
even
tell the price.
fully enclosed, and they actually print. They print pretty well. Like, look at this. This is $300, man.
Yeah, but it's tiny. The thing is tiny.
Yeah, but here's my use case.
Mm.
Uh, Hot Wheels custom cars.
Mm.
Uh,
The name is so weird. Creality. It's like creating
your-
reality. Is that what?
yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Hey, we're creating reality. Creality.
Reality
Creality.
tunnel.
Yes. Let's get into the tunnel. Get printed out of the tunnel. But
Hmm.
so I don't know if you know anything
small
about this
bits is-
brand.
Yeah, for small
but
things. Is
It
definitely.
looks neat, right? It's like for making small parts.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
I'd be hand painting them, like custom painting. I have
Okay.
some stuff going on, like miniatures. At the
Custom
It's-
Hot Wheels? Is that it?
yeah. did I catch a custom Hot Wheel? Yeah.
Are you gonna have? Do you have to be a
Licensed?
A license. Well,
in a hot
No.
box? You gonna do in a hot box?
yes. So you'd be hotboxing
Hot wheel
with
in a hot box.
the hot,
Cold wheels.
Hot Wheels. Yes. Well, that's the thing too. Like, they have those flexible materials, the flexible printing stuff. That's what you would make the tires out of. So tires are real easy, right? Instead of being hard plastic, they have this, this kind of wood-looking stuff, but they also have clear, right? So for the windows, like, you could make a whole car that's clear and then just paint the parts that you want to be the body.
Oh.
And then that's how you have the windows and make it a single piece instead of having to have a separate acrylic insert.
I'm always skeptical
See how it's...
on companies who have flash sales on their website all the time, and the ones who have chat with us bots.
Yeah,
I'm always like, it's a little bit red. It's like red flag.
You're telling me you don't trust the supplements that Alex Jones sells?
Come on, no, this is just standard. Having a chat with us function is like, it's now a standard user interface, like boilerplate, like having a back to top button is standard practice. The fact that it's responsive, right? Like when I stretch it out, now it's a desktop view, and now it's an iPad view, and as I get smaller,
nice.
it shrinks to a phone view. So like all of these things are what it should be, and since it's an international company,
because it's like one of those copy paste kind of a templates,
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's a functionality, right? It does
Yes.
one. It needs to do one certain type of thing, and it needs to keep doing it. Right? So like, why does it have all these things? It's kind of, is it annoying, like the way that the site moves? Like you could choose which color. I mean, it gives you everything you want, and it's responsive in the sense that it shows you the picture, as opposed to just staying on the same picture. And then you got stuff like this, like rainbow material. Like that's pretty incredible. That's, $26. You save $1, you guys. It ships from a local warehouse. Where is local?
Yeah, what is local?
How do you know? What are you talking about?
China.
Yeah, yes. More links. What about the?
Go to about us. Do you have about us?
Yeah, that's in more links. Sorry, I had this way too much about us.
Company. Okay.
Right, that's because it was responsive to the
3D
Zoom.
printing evangelist.
Wow.
That's good.
2014, okay. Consisting of professional researchers.
Like professional fact checkers.
As opposed to amateur researchers and unskilled engineers, our really dumb team rarely strives for creative function, for lack of creative function, and excellent user experience. Right, 192 countries, including but not limited to France, the United States of America,
So what are they?
Russia, UK. Where? Yes, that's a good question.
It's just.
I would guess it's a UK office. Wait, 86. Where is that?
I don't fucking know.
That's China.
China?
Yes.
Of course.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Dude, I get so many ads from like a bunch of weird companies that like in China they all have this website. They look all like this.
Yeah.
Same design, same features, same chat, same flashes, flash sales, everything is the same.
Of course.
And then just sell a bunch of shit.
You know why? Because they're emulating American companies that are doing well. And they're just ripping off everything that they possibly can.
Yes, and then it's
intellectual property theft.
They're not even different companies, though. That's the crazy thing. Like they're all the same company.
Yeah.
They're the state, and the state like gives them whatever. Like they have their own. This is the way, or e-commerce must be done. This is how it has to be done.
And I bought a shirt. So I bought a shirt. So I was on Instagram. I was getting like ads for this shirt. It's like, hey, I'll buy it. And it's like they're saying like it's
fine. I'll buy it. Leave me alone.
It's like shipped from the United States, whatever. I'm just like, okay, it's like not a Chinese company, right?
You fell for that.
And I buy it, and it comes here. And material is shit. Like you feel like it feels like it's like a $2 shirt. Like it's just the stitches are so bad. The material is so like the quality is so bad. Like the scratchy like cut.
The picture might look okay, but
And the picture looked great.
Yeah.
But like the material is shit. And this anyway, the fitting is bad. I was like, okay, I was like, I want to return this shit. It's like, yeah, you can return it, but you have to pay the shipping, and you have to send it back to China. I'm like, I'm not sending shit to China. Like, wait, what, $50? Like, what about return? Like,
they're counting on that.
returning means you pay for the fucking label because the product is shit. It's like, no, you gotta. There's no
You're
regulation.
spoiled by Amazon.
No,
Yeah.
it's not spoiled by Amazon.
Which is the same thing.
I mean, if you're sending me
Interesting.
if I buy a $20 shirt and this, shipping it back is $50, like, how am I getting my money back?
No, that's the scheme, Eugene. That is the scheme.
I know. That's why I complain about it.
There's a scheme way back, maybe like in the 80s or maybe even 70s. I think it was mid 80s. Joey Diaz was talking about it, where these people were selling sex toys, right, over the phone, right? So the people would call in. People would call in, order the thing, right, and then they wouldn't receive anything, right? But they wouldn't try to get the money back because they didn't want anybody to know. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious. That's actually fun. That's actually fun, like that.
It's a blackmail scheme.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is. Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It's just, I like the story. It's funny.
There's another
mine's not funny. Thing. That was pretty funny.
You guys know this I don't know what or it is, whether it's a company, whether it's a website, organization. I think it's called something like Ashley Madison.
Oh yes. Yes.
And what
it's notorious.
Specialized in was curating adultery, essentially, and hookups. But what happened is that they just took the data that these people had and started blackmailing them. Because the site was exclusively to help people like cheat on other people or find other people to do that with. Anyways, really sick.
Yeah, it's like sugar babies and sugar daddies.
I mean,
meet each other.
This isn't too far from what Andrew Tate was doing. I mean,
it's identical.
It's a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean, it's totally wrong, but just like what he was doing is totally wrong. It's prostitution, is what it is. It's exchange of sexual services for.
Is it? Hold on. Is it prostitution? I guess I don't know. Actually, I don't know what he did, but I don't know if I don't know if they just talked. If the girls just talked to guys, or
that still counts. That still counts.
Oh, that still counts. Okay.
Yeah, if you're paying somebody, and they, even if it's that woman's first time, you're gonna pay her for her time to listen to you, and there's the idea that it could lead to something else, except you don't do it. That's prostitution, but you just didn't get your money's worth.
How is that prostitution?
It's not prostitution because it's successful. Because you actually like.
How are you gonna do that?
Do you have to make the prostitute orgasm
for
it to count as prostitution?
The girls are talking to guys. The girls are talking to guys that are like in different countries, not in Romania.
But they get them to come there. They get them to send money before they even visit them. That's the thing. Like they pay for their time before, and all of it is like the savor of the lead up to it, and then they finally meet in some hotel that he pays for.
I don't think they do meet.
Sometimes,
I don't know.
like because they're in town. That's.
I would talk out of my ass.
That's what Tristan. I try to remember him on one of his many podcasts. He would talk about that, and that they, they.
Sorry for the rabbit hole.
Some of their patrons, but it was him. Jeez. It's prostitution. It's the oldest profession, right?
It paid for the underground or to the street regrade in Seattle, 85%. Underground brothels, that weren't official or anything, but if 85% of that whole regrade project where they lifted the streets was paid for brothels, that's pretty amazing. I don't know what that was, but that sounds significant. Can't imagine what that would cost a day.
But to like move around a mountain, like why? First of all, why? Who gets the idea to like move a bunch of mountains around? It's just senseless. I mean, unless they were covering up a whole bunch of shit.
Or digging stuff out.
Yeah, but why like for no reason?
Did you watch that documentary I sent you, Alex?
Not yet, man. Not yet.
You should watch it because it's pretty fucking crazy how they build the whole Seattle in like fucking 30 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I haven't finished the whole thing, but like I know a little bit about the history. And in Tacoma, it's even crazier because it's from 1878, right, to 1893. Everything was built in that time, like everything. All the churches that you see now, they're literally maps. I have maps where there's like 5, 6 churches on the same street.
Mm-hmm.
It's really baffling, but Seattle is even
15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with a ton of money, right? Like thinking about Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
I was thinking,
10 years after, or Frankfurt or Dresden, in the 50s. They were doing.
They had machines. They had. I mean, I don't know what
steam shovels. In 1890.
They had like those like excavators because if you look at the footage when they're building the Seattle downtown, it's like they had machinery like
steam shovels.
And they had
dig into the burf.
Mm-hmm.
And they were putting in the beginning all their streets are like wood wood planks.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that they start putting asphalt or like what's it called?
And then building castles. No.
Yeah,
you know what we should do, guys? We should do a watch along and like comment on like a watch along and commentary. Maybe for one of the John Levi videos, which is shorter. But if you guys have any ideas for something to watch along, that'd be fun.
The one I sent you is just old footage. There's no commenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw it in the chat.
You know, I was thinking. I was gonna tell you something, Alex. I think the reason that they built them so quick back then because there was no unions. There was no regulation. People working.
That's a great point.
68 hours a week. Because they just want to work as much as they can make money. Now there's people. I mean, have you seen people working construction? They fucking like.
Yeah.
There's like 5 people looking down at one guy working.
Yeah, everyone's there just to make sure they're safe.
Yeah, I'm like.
Yep.
It's like, who's working here? Like, who's actually working? I don't know. And there's a guy, every time I go, there's at least one guy at the excavator on his phone,
Oh, yeah, minimum one.
There's always somebody chilling in this. I mean, I was like, did you guys have AC in there? Like, is there AC in those excavators? Like,
yeah, just with the engine running. And, I usually see them in their truck.
Is there AC in the excavator?
An excavator? Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a $300,000 machine.
It is.
Right? Yeah, I mean... it's...
Same with cranes. Cranes are ridiculous. I had a friend whose father used to be, or he was a crane operator in Europe. I think he was in like Moldova. Maybe Latvia. Anyways, he was operating a crane. And something happened where either the thing that he was lifting was too heavy, or he didn't have enough counterweight, and he toppled an entire crane, and it fell over. Yeah.
What did he?
Latvia.
Latvia.
Mm-hmm.
A tower crane driver, huh?
Yes.
And what a job. Did he make it? Did he survive that?
Oh yeah. He's alive and well. He has like 10 kids.
And he was in a tower crane and it collapsed.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. There are there are people who could barely walk today.
Yes.
Like young people.
There was. I'm looking at the. So there was a World's Fair in 1962.
Yeah.
That's when they built the Space Needle. But there was one before that. There was the first one was before. What was an older one before that?
Wait, an
Seattle.
older World's Fair in Seattle?
Yeah.
Prior to 1860.
Before 1962. Because it mentioned in the video that I sent you, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the first World's Fair. It was like old. It was older. It was before the Space Needle. It was like right at the beginning of it was like right at the beginning of this. So it was right after the fire.
Okay, which was 1890, 1891. Great Fire of 1890, I believe.
It was right after they rebuilt most of the stuff back. They had a fair. After the fire.
The whole fair thing is also really. It just sounds so odd that so many millions of people. Well, there's a lot of fairs during the Great Depression, right? The one in Chicago.
Have you ever been to a fair, man? I don't know how you go there and avoid depression.
Actually, yeah, I'm not a fan.
Well, no, it's meant to, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's like your normal life sucks. Also, and it's also just the amount of food. I don't know.
Yeah, the smells really are like
smells,
offensive.
There's so
honestly.
many people. Everyone is so loud.
Did I text it to you, or did I send you a signal? The video, Alex, remember?
You texted it to me.
Oh, I see. I'm seeing it now. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Hold on. Maybe that was the first one because
yeah.
It says 1976. Wait, I see now. Hold on a second.
The thing about the World's Fairs
no,
is
that's a second. That's a second part. No, part one.
So many millions of people came to visit and see and partake from all over the world at a time when wasn't that easy to get around. There were fairs right after the Great Depression. There are many buildings that were put up temporarily and just destroyed after. And there were some buildings that remained permanently standing. But there are also some buildings that were put together for the Great Fair, or for the World Fair, and then reconstituted, or broken down and reconstituted in a completely different country or state. And one of those buildings, I think it was called the Crystal Palace.
Do you see this?
In Chicago.
The Crystal Palace, yes.
This is the Pioneer Square. This is the pier. This is the downtown.
That's
Seattle.
water, right?
This is downtown Seattle, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that shiny stuff looks like water.
That's water. Okay. That was all covered with soil.
Yeah.
It was all fake.
Not soil, sawdust. It was filled in. The tide flats were filled in with sawdust, yeah. And then they rerouted a river. I'm not sure if it was here or in Tacoma where they rerouted a river so that, this area wouldn't flood.
Was that deliberate, or is that just where they'd be dumping their sawdust?
No, it was absolutely deliberate. It took a lot of effort.
That's a lot of that's a lot of trees,
Eugene,
because you keep the trees.
Together. You guys want to watch it? You said there's not much commentary, right?
City councils.
Oh, there is.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, well, could we listen to it together?
Yeah.
Or on our own. Or maybe just briefly.
Some streets were
the first
built
few.
by private groups, but these were little more than rough trails hacked out of the forest.
Yeah. There's something about that voice.
Public transportation was increasing, so the city council set upon a program to construct better streets. The first surfacing was wood planks, and for several years, wood planking was used for both sidewalks and streets.
Like, hold on.
Wood became worn.
Wood planks. Weren't the ancient Romans building roads with no tools, like just centurions and the shit that they could find?
I believe so. And
why are these people cutting down trees, 2,000 years later to make a road?
That's what was available.
Pebbles, whatever, rocks. I think they have a ton of pebbles. They have a ton of fucking trees, that's why.
Yeah. It was very rich.
They've been cutting so much, dude. There was like, I think this Seattle, the Washington area, they're like that #1 like tree provider for like a long time. Because there's so many fucking
cut down trees. All the old growth forests.
Yeah, there's so many old trees up here. And they cut them all. They cut down almost all of them.
All right. Let's keep going.
So like it was so cheap, just put trees down.
Loose. Sometimes during the winter months, the planks would be covered with mud, and soon wood planking became less desirable.
You think?
The Great Fire in 1889 disrupted all city improvements. The blaze started at First Avenue and Madison Street when a boiling glue pot in a cabinet shop overturned. The fire spread rapidly and was never really under control.
Yeah, there's an echo, by the way.
Yeah, I hear it too. Is it on my end?
No, it's Eugene, probably.
What about now?
You think it's because he's sharing a screen? Oh, no. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
I was gonna say, Eugene and Nick. Apparently, the thing that's attributed to starting the Great Fire of 90? 89 was like they said, a cow kicking over a glue pot.
Boiling.
All right,
Boiling.
Yes.
Like a boiling glue pot, right? So what do you make glue out of? They make it out of cow hooves, right? They make it out of hooves and
ironic.
And horse hooves too, right? But so maybe they were like rendering something. They were doing their work, and this cow got away from them that they were trying to slaughter, and the cow's revenge was to like kick over this thing, like fuck. He tries to get away, and like the cow dies, of course, or maybe they ran free and like wandered off into the Cascades and lived this cow life, and watched the city burn from First Hill.
Like Nero.
Like, yeah, fuck you. Yes, what you did to me. What you did to my brother. Moo! You're my moo.
Commentary.
Right.
All right, onward.
Burned itself out in the tide flats to the south. Within 7 hours, over 30 blocks of the business district were in ruins. The waterfront and everything south of University Street was completely burned. Wharves, banks, hotels, and business establishments were in ruins. First Avenue and Madison Street, and on down First Avenue to Columbia, to Cherry.
They had big buildings already.
The Boston block on 2nd Avenue.
Very big.
The Northwest Cracker Factory at First.
Okay, pause there. Pause. Eugene, could you go back one second there where that scene was of the burned remnants of the building? No, right next one. It'll be right after.
Sorry, hold on.
Columbia.
This one?
Nope.
I mean, all that's left is the stone facade,
right there.
Right?
Right there. Okay. How does fire burn stone in 7 hours? 30 blocks in 7 hours. It must have been really hot fire.
Yeah, I mean the roof is wood,
Also
right?
brick.
So that's gonna the parts that stay are the vertical pieces that are solid brick. If they don't get, when the roof timbers fall, like they'll usually knock down a support wall, or they'll fall to some side, and
But brick, how at what temperature does brick just like disintegrate because
I don't think
it
that's from
seems to be
fire.
very hardy.
I think that's from from just being demolished by the weight of things flying off it. Right? It's not. I don't think it's burning. Right? It's not
Not just
burning.
that. At some points, they're to create a break between buildings, they would actually use dynamite and destroy a perfectly good building to stop the fire from spreading. Like this was very common. Very common.
Yeah, because the fire would heat the brick, and the heat would transfer through the brick, and then just like the things that were inside the next building would just burst into flames.
Okay.
Some
Onward.
piece of the roof. Wow.
This looks like Armageddon, though.
Dude, it looks so bad. Yeah.
Looks like Frankfurt or Dresden.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chimney.
Mill and wharf.
Wow. That looks like a painting.
It was not the fire that made history, but rather Seattle's reaction to it. In less than a week, the people had recovered from the shock and were laboring with renewed enthusiasm. The rapidity with which the city rebuilt itself sent Seattle's fame.
Wait, hold on. Visitation by fire? I know that's poetic language, like to, but
that's
don't you visit the plague upon someone?
I wish there's like a bigger picture we can read what they're saying.
They say, look at it, it's thank God, something God, the sweet, something mixed with thank God.
Okay. No worries.
Like, but see the words on the right?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Thank God that God, the sweet mixed with the something this, thank God, the cheerful determination. That's 3 times God is mentioned in a newspaper in a paragraph. You think you see that today?
No. Unless it's Allah.
Yeah, and there's like something about evil.
The rapidity with
right.
the city...
Fearful determination, convicted by evil upon the ashes from the... I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, splendor.
Wait, well, hold on. Can we find that? Can we find that?
That article?
Seattle's awful visitation by fire yesterday. Okay, I'll try to pull it up.
No, Seattle, what's that, Washington?
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah, Washington. Friday, what year was that? 1893.
89, the fire. Within 3 years, Tacoma had an incredible fire. Spokane had an incredible fire, and Port Townsend had. And what's interesting about those 3 is that all 3 of those have old world buildings galore. Especially Spokane, believe it or not. It used to be a very large city. And Port Townsend just does not make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense. The types of buildings that are at Port Townsend at that time, like there's no quarries around. It's just, we'll look into that, but that's another thing. It's nearby, Port Townsend, and there are some buildings that do not, they baffle the mind. Okay. Any luck, Eugene? I'm also looking.
I mean, there's a bunch of them that they wanted to pay for it, but like I'm sure there's a they gotta be a
available.
Yeah, right. It's like a.
I'll try to pull it up. I never knew. Did you just want to read the article? Yeah.
It's the front page. I'm very curious what the front page says. Right? I mean, I don't know. I never looked for a certain year.
Like microfilm, those things are usually had on microfilm, but it's what is the date of that?
1893. but I don't know what day it is.
Uh,
Oh, like oh, I found it.
Okay.
No, hold on. That is, it's hold on.
1889.
This is
Okay, got it.
18. You got it?
Well, not the. Let me see. I don't know if it's the article, but definitely archives from Seattle.gov, city. Okay, so we have digital documents. Um, so in 1884, there was a petition and report to create a fire company in Belltown. A fire company. Petition to fire company number 4 for a fire engine, January 16th, 1885.
Anyway, it's okay. We can go.
Okay, onward.
The city rebuilt itself, sent Seattle's fame throughout the nation. Nothing like it had ever been witnessed on the American.
Do you see cranes? Those are cranes? Or am I just tripping? Those are cranes, right?
No idea.
like they're
Like a,
just like trees. They're trees without leaves. They're utility poles, right? Masts of ships.
American continent, with the single exception of the Chicago fire in 1871. Within 4 years, over 130 new buildings had been built.
in 4 years.
130
Yeah,
new buildings.
yeah.
That's a lot.
What? Like, that's like.
That's a
Hold on.
lot.
Another thing. Stop, guys. So 1889, right? Let's check what the population was at that time, because in 1883,
40,000?
1880, there was literally only 3,500 to 3,500 people. 1880.
1880?
There's
No, it's
boom.
more than that.
there's 3,500 people can cause a fire that burns
I think they mentioned
more than 130 buildings because they rebuilt 130 buildings in 4 years.
They
I think it's
said
more than
7 hours. How many blocks? 30 blocks. Okay, so population.
So they had a fire.
In 1889.
But there's 3,500 people. That's like there's nobody
that's
there.
1880. That's 1880. There was
This
a
is
huge boom.
1893.
Yeah, there was a huge boom to over 42,000 people. Imagine that.
Wait, hold on. 1890, it's 42,000 people.
Yeah, but get this. 1883, 3,530.
Where are you getting that from?
Timeline of Seattle from Wikipedia. There's a timeline here. But 1883, yep. 3,533. So
from 83 to 80.
Yeah.
In 7 years, they got like
Yes.
30,000 people coming. Wow.
Here's one of the things that contributed to it: the gold rush in Alaska. People were coming through Seattle to get to the gold rush in Yukon, Denali. Okay. Klondike gold rush. Yep. It nearly doubled from 1890, yeah.
Okay, so I have some information in here.
Okay.
1870, 1,000 people. Then 1880, 3,500.
Yeah.
Whoa. Then
Amazing
fire in 8089, and then 9080 42,000 people. Holy shit!
Yes. Same thing in Tacoma. All right, onward.
Dude, that's a lot of people. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at a Seattle Post-Intelligencer from 1897. Headlines: gold, 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 gold. Latest news from the Klondike. Stacks of yellow metal.
Better streets were constructed of brick, granite blocks, and gravel. There were even some streets paved with wood blocks. In 1897, when the good news of the discovery of gold in the Klondike came down from the north, the vast trade with Alaska, which was to grow with these discoveries, the construction of railroads, and establishment of steamship lines became the most important factor in the growth and prosperity of Seattle. Fishing and lumbering industries also attracted thousands of people to Seattle. Through the years, the lumbering industry and the manufacture of forest products
Sorry, go ahead.
in western Washington made itself known and felt throughout the world.
Those are some big fucking trees, man.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Old growth.
What the fuck? Look at that.
That's how you climb a tree, dude.
Dude, that pains me to see.
It's slow. Chip away.
Okay, and notice how he's doing it, right? He's using a saw, a hand saw. What do you guys think? How are they? What power tools were they using to build buildings? No, it was all by hand.
Yeah, it just takes time, man.
Much more time.
Dude, people are really fucking tough back then. Holy shit. That guy can go fucking hours probably before he gets tired, you know. Those people had fucking arms, man.
Yeah, he worked all day.
You have to like.
Yeah, they weren't obese.
You know?
All right.
You don't eat if you don't.
In 1900, Seattle had grown to over 80,000 people.
Yes.
That was the
80,000 people by 1900.
So there's a 12-fold increase. Yeah.
It was electric. Little did the people of those days realize the tremendous impact the horseless carriage would have many years later. Business began to move north of Pioneer Square. Many new office buildings lined 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Avenue.
Look at that. Look at this. What
What?
the fuck? Did you see a picture?
My... Dude.
Remember the picture I showed in the beginning? Just so
Yeah.
that's almost the same area.
Yeah.
The tide flats.
Dude.
Insanity. Wow.
And that's in like what, 40 years, maybe less.
This is what I'm saying, guys. It's insane.
40 years. But the buildings, man, they're like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The building stock, you know, it's stone, it's bricks.
Yeah, look at that.
Where are the quarries that they're getting these things?
Well, no, there are mines.
For 130 buildings?
Yeah, there's plenty of mine. There's still, how many old mines? I mean, there's like a whole fucking like book of like abandoned mines. I mean, there's a lot of mines here, and I don't know how many active they have, but I mean, I don't know where they brought them from, but probably local for sure. Granite. I mean,
we should go spelunking.
I mean, we have so many mountains. There's so much granite in this area.
I know, but think about it, Eugene. Think about it. All those things would have to been transported by horse.
Yeah, or
stone.
Trains. No, not trains. They just built train.
Train wasn't connected until like 1895.
No.
I could be wrong.
No.
I could be wrong.
No, they talked about like They talked about like a state connected train, like a train in Alaska wasn't in that, but they had local trains. Yeah, they had local trains. They had like local lines. Yeah, they had local lines that goes to different mines and shit.
Okay.
Just for like transporting stuff.
North of Lake Union, the city was taking shape in the residential districts. Streetcar service had been extended to the Fremont district.
Streetcar.
One outstanding civic project in Seattle's history was the Alaska-Yukon Pacific Exposition. In 1906, Seattle businessmen incorporated to finance and promote the fair.
This fair? What year was?
But that's like Vienna. It looks like
Pacific
Oh
Exposition.
was that
In 1906, Seattle.
1906. Hold on.
Is that Volunteer Park?
Look at this.
What in the? What?
No. This is UW.
1906?
This is UW. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Listen. This is very cool.
Businessmen incorporated to finance and promote the fair. And in June of the next year, 20,000 people turned out for the groundbreaking ceremonies on the new campus of the University of Washington.
Smoking.
2 years later, on June 1st, 1909, the fair was officially opened. Opening day was declared a legal holiday, and there was a spectacular military parade down 2nd Avenue.
You see this footage is like weird. It's moving very strangely.
Really weird shit, man.
Like
Yeah.
what is it? Like what? It's like
Uh-huh.
image. It's like somebody trying to like image symbolize this shit, but like things in the back are moving, and then things in the
They
front
were
are moving.
super wasted.
Hmm.
It's like,
Yeah, I
never
think
seen,
that's
like,
the
this
algorithm.
before. Yeah. Like what the fuck?
The Seattle police drill team was there, the mayor and dignitaries of the exposition.
Not a whole bunch of fat dudes either.
No way. It made me feel like rich.
Unless you're H.H. Richardson. Who's
The
345
architect.
pounds.
Yes.
Yeah, at the age of his death.
There's a bunch of
David
fucking
Fire
floors.
Builder, who, as president of the Great Northern Railroad, had built the line west to Seattle only 16 years earlier, gave the opening address.
When was that?
You
16
can
years
barely
earlier to
Look
The
at all
main
what?
entrance to the fair was
you can't see any
located
skin. It's just women in dresses.
at what is
and
now the main
hats.
entrance to the University of Washington campus.
American
The
hijabs.
Court of Honor and federal buildings overlooked Geyser Basin. From here, one could look south over a beautiful waterfall called the Cascades toward a full view of Mount Rainier.
Mm.
Can you imagine, bro? Like just those brand new buildings. Is that the way it looks right now?
Guys,
UW?
That's insane. It's just, you know what? Like,
It's a
keep this in
palace
mind.
grounds, is what
Keep
it is.
this in mind, right? And then we're gonna look at what was in Oregon after this. All right, go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Let me look at the UW.
Oh, yeah,
Wait.
Pacific
there's
Lutheran University
Wait,
in
there's a-
Tacoma,
There's a building is missing.
of course.
The building, this big building.
The circular.
Yeah, the one
What?
behind the tower is missing right now. There's something else there.
Yeah, they have a tendency to de-tower buildings.
No, that whole building is missing because right
Mm.
now behind this tower, that's the fountain. It's just a straight. I mean, can you do 3Ds? You can do 3D, right? In the maps, in Google Maps,
But I'm
right?
not surprised that it's missing.
That
Maybe.
you could do Street View, yeah.
Hold on, let me. If I drop, see, hold on. So if I drop a fella. Okay, hold on.
Hmm.
How do I change screens though?
You said share this tab instead. It'll be on the top.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Okay, so you see the new tab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a fountain.
Hmm.
It's missing the the little tower.
Yeah.
And this,
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of shit missing.
and this direction, there's the big building is missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There should be a building right in here.
Yeah, go from the top, kind of. Like, get a... Yeah, a little bit more... Yeah, right? Because it was circular and there was that round shape.
Because there's nothing in this way, obviously. It's supposed to be, yeah, round shape and
Yeah,
somewhere in
like,
this
what a
area.
weird, long lawn.
Yeah, you can kind of tell which is a new building.
Yeah,
Now, this
go
is
back to the other tab. Like, put the fountain at the center. Go check the other tab.
You
Yeah,
see?
see?
The tower and the fountains. Hold on, let me go back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see, there, this is a better shot. So the fountain, and then there's a tower, and then there's a huge dude. That's a huge fucking
dome.
building, man. Dude, that's huge.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's gone. This whole thing is gone.
What? Yeah. Where do you think it went?
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
From
Okay.
here, one could look south over a beautiful waterfall called the Cascades toward a full view of Mount Rainier. The Court of Honor was a focal point of the exposition, and here spectators paraded.
Hey, wait, go back a little bit. And what's that emblem over those gates, those huge gates?
Oh yeah, like you can't really tell.
Yeah, that. Can you
Yeah,
let it go a little bit? Because it looks like something with wings.
Yeah.
In their best Sunday attire.
Falcon, maybe a bird.
Gnome and here
Yeah, there's also. You see, there's one over here as well.
of Mount Rainier.
Over here, see, there's one over here and one
The
over
Court
there.
of Honor was a focal point of the exposition,
Wow.
and here spectators paraded in their best Sunday attire.
Their best Sunday attire.
Sunday.
Like, what the fuck? What is this? This is also dub, right? Yeah.
Yeah, what's that one weird buried castle thing? Like the tower that would be the bell tower of a previous building?
Yeah.
That white thing sticking out, right? That's the roof of a
Yeah.
much taller... That belongs on the top of a taller building. Why is it there on the ground?
Was Gnome Circle
Mm-hmm.
and the Forestry Building, with its spectacular columns of Douglas fir from Snohomish County. There were
Douglas
documentary
fir?
displays of American history, and twice
Wait,
a day,
hold on.
What?
What do you make of that? Gettysburg?
there were documentary displays of American history, and twice a day, a simulated Battle of Gettysburg from America's Civil War was staged.
What? They built a castle for the fair.
Yeah.
Just because.
Is this...
They're like, you know
like,
what?
this just fake? It's just fake or what? Like,
No,
they
it's
made...
stone, dude.
But not like real stone.
Well, I mean, it's not styrofoam.
I mean, this whole area was like a, you know, it was like a fucking, I don't know, a fair. It was a fair. It was a.
If they could throw up fucking castles,
yeah,
just left and right, wouldn't there be just like a shit ton of castles? Wouldn't they just only build castles?
Or even bigger castles that aren't temporary.
Like, how come they can build 130 buildings in 4 years, you know, back then, and there's a housing crisis. Oh, there's not enough housing. Start building castles, man. Every 2 years, castle.
Well,
castle.
They didn't have a
Come on.
regulations, you know.
Pause for a minute. If you guys check
right.
your signal stream, there's gonna be two photos. One of the photos it was just going to be comparing a building that was built a long time ago to what it looks like now, and the other one is it's the Yesler building that was built in 1880 when the population was 3,200 people. 3,200, 500. 32, yeah, 500.
That looks like shit.
Look closely.
Is it the same building on the third picture? Or no?
No, it's not the same building. No, the third picture is the Yesler building that was put up in 1880.
Which one is the which one?
There are those Orthodox minarets? Is that what I'm looking at? That have been pulled off of a church? I mean, those would be at home in, you know, in Russia, in Byzantium, right? Like those are pretty.
It's like looks like they're simplifying buildings that were built to be more functional.
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah, what they did is they did this building dirty, man.
Well, maybe. Well, also, I mean, to be fair, it may have gotten bombed, man. Bombed by bombs, and
the Yesler building
just shitty repair
was burned down. Okay. All right. Onward.
It was not remodeled, but
remodeled.
Reconstructed.
Wink, wink. Yeah.
Midway
way uglier though.
Opening day, over 80,000 people were there. It was a virtual Disneyland of fun and excitement.
Why virtual?
Meaning almost. I mean, it's the old way of saying virtual.
There was Prince Albert.
See the Indian basket weavers at work.
It's like a zoo.
Mm-hmm.
There were pony rides for the kids.
Look at them. It's amazing. They can even weave.
There was a rodeo and Dixieland jazz.
Heck yeah. Dixie.
Klondike dance hall. Look at the women.
This is the first
roller coaster.
Yep.
Log flume.
5 countries sent exhibits to the fair. From all over the world.
How many countries?
Statuary and paintings.
25.
Wait, pause there. Okay, so what they're telling us is that 25 different countries sent things to be built in Seattle? Resources, material?
No, I think like paintings and art pieces.
Okay.
I think just art pieces or shows.
Well, a country can't send art. Somebody has to buy it from somebody else, or steal it, or kill that person.
They're not just like, here you go, have fun.
Or I mean, it's a gift from a person, right? It's an endowment.
Okay. All right.
Weird.
That this was the age of electricity. Electric lights of many colors trimmed all the buildings. On that final day in October, all the lights of the exposition were darkened. The remaining crowd sang Auld Lang Syne under the starry.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like. You see, this is you done.
That's what I'm talking about. Look at those.
That looks insane.
Those the half circle, like the quarters, the quarter round buildings.
Yeah.
Those are gone, right?
100%. And they look really intricate and complex. Look at the windows on top.
Yeah.
The skylights.
Yeah.
That's the same area.
All that shit's gone.
Oh my gosh.
And where's because it's a 2 fountain setup, right? Right.
Yeah.
It's one. The fountain.
Yeah, there's an obelisk for me.
Washes down into that big pool.
Why are there so many obelisks everywhere?
I never know.
I'm trying to figure out if there's actually anything left from those anything, if any of the buildings are actually still there.
Isn't
that's a good question.
the fascia of the main building remain? The
No,
one in the back?
what
Those
do you mean?
columns?
No, the columns is not
The
there.
Space Needle is the only thing.
Like, there's nothing left, and that's like.
The sky, then left quietly.
Are those just inflatable buildings?
like the tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you think about it, you could probably just like stretch fabric over scaffolding. Make
Dude,
it tent.
Or glass.
So okay, hold on a second. This is like what 1910 or something, 1910.
1907.
Like, how the fuck it's still not there? Like, how the hell like nothing left? Like, there's nothing left of these buildings. Look.
Yeah, exactly, Eugene. These are all wonderful questions we've all been asking. and there were many fairs, guys. There were so many fairs in the United States. Every major city had a fair.
This looks to me like original, like something that's left from. You see?
Wow, that's incredible. What building is that?
This is Denny Hall.
Denny Hall. Yeah, that's an old world building for sure. Denny Hall. Yes, heard it mentioned.
But the rest, I mean, this could be old too.
There's the Denny Hotel.
Yeah.
Who's this Denny character?
But like nothing close to this. Like this building.
That the pit where there's nothing is where that huge building used to be.
Right. Oh, you're right. The red square.
Man.
Did they demolish it?
I wonder if there are photos of it when it was up.
Hold on, let's Google it. Old pictures of UW, so Washington. No, University of Washington.
Oh, guys, I actually found some archives from the UW. Like really great high-resolution images. I have to pull it up. Let me see where I can. But they have some stuff available to download.
Okay, here. The fuck is this? Wikipedia.
Man,
oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. You see? This is the old. Oh, dude, look at the view. Look at the Rainier. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you were in the main building and you're looking at this obelisk here, the cascade flow goes down to the fountain, which is the circular thing that has those buildings around it. All of those buildings are gone. That's why they said you have a full view of Rainier from there. So that's like from the dome of the building. And what is that thing that's on the obelisk? Another thing with wings?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what one exactly.
But look at the view, man. Holy shit.
You don't randomly put a piece of something up there for no reason.
Nope. It's symbolic. It's like the Caduceus, you know?
Yeah. There's
whatever
not a
they
lot
want
of stuff
elevated.
that has wings.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Nike, Winged Victory. There's the Furies. There are Angels.
All right. Let's continue.
Yes.
Or Eugene's still doing a deep dive into.
Okay.
And there's a fire down there.
This is the old.
You know what that is? That's a postcard.
Yeah. Is this? Wait. What year?
Aeroplane.
This is 1922. So look, those buildings are gone.
Yeah.
Already. What the fuck?
Yes, you see the way that it's arranged. It's now off center because it was aligned.
Totally.
The
now
huge building
feng shui is off.
It's like on the bottom, like right above where it says Seattle, like that round bit Yeah, there's no obelisk, there's no fountain, everything is gone. It's completely gone.
Okay.
That's crazy. Do you think
Yes, it is.
I'm confused. Those buildings are built only for that reason?
Yes. Yes, Eugene. There
For
were
the
so many buildings built for just specifically for the World
fair?
Fairs that it's baffling.
So, and did they take them down? Like, what the fuck did they do with them?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, do you see the red the building, the red one? Those are those are still there. And you see the Denny Hall back
Whoa,
far
whoa,
back.
whoa, wait, Eugene, you said the fair was in 1907?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna send you
That's
a
1922,
photo.
it says.
I'm gonna send you a photo of 1906, and what it shows is Second Avenue, and it shows the Seattle regrade. And you guys have to see this. Let me send it to you. It's fascinating.
Wait, you can just share. Just send them over here. Send them on the
I
chat.
can't copy and paste photos into the chat. That won't allow me to.
You have it on
That's,
your phone or something?
oh, the
Um,
link?
Just copy, yeah, paste the link.
okay, yeah, let me do that. Will do. I just try to actually get the image itself, the source image. But yes, I'll drop you guys the link.
Wait, so how are they? Hold on a second. So 20. Okay, so that was a 20th century expansion. The 1909. If you guys can look at that, but
Hmm.
okay, so still largely undeveloped campus as a prime setting for the World's Fair. Okay, so they come into agreement with Washington Board that they allowed to use the campus grant. Okay, so they was okay. It was like it was more like to rent the area, to rent the area to build to have the fair. And the plan was later incorporated into the overall UW campus master plan, affecting the campus layout.
How do
Okay, yeah.
you,
Both
like,
world.
rent your land to, like, a compound of massive stone buildings? That's not a rental situation. It's not
No.
like a leaseholder improvement. That's not like, hanging a different door on your rental house. It's not like putting even new windows in. It's not even like 20 grand like a new roof. It's like you're building monuments. You're building like a library, a House of
I'm so
Congress, some
confused. Yeah, it says in exchange, organizers agreed Washington would take over the campus and its development after the fair's conclusion. This agreement led to a detailed site plan and several new buildings prepared in part by John Charles Olmsted. But but they're like, but then take it down. Like I'm so confused. You build huge buildings and you take them down in like a few
Yeah,
years.
exactly. It doesn't make sense. Eugene, I sent them via. I just texted them to you because let me drop the link.
I can get texts on my computer as well.
What are those buildings?
Okay, so the first one that you see is the Olympia Capitol in 1905, right? So this was the Capitol in Olympia at that same time, right before that fair. The third image that you see, excuse me.
The link? You send me a link.
Yeah, that link, if you open it up, you'll see that it's an image from 1906 prior to the regrade, or at least.
Yeah, because they leveled up the whole fucking area, man.
So was it after the fair that they did it? Because if 1907, or I'm sorry, prior to the fair?
No. Regret happened in the Union. Sorry, they happened in like a Seattle, like a fucking
Uh-huh.
what's the area called? It happened in the downtown.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Denny regrade.
Yeah,
But
then.
all right, so it's in the chat. If you guys could open it, you'll see just like the regrade. But all right, we can continue.
The remaining crowd sang Auld Lang Syne under the starry sky and left quietly in the darkness. In 1910, Seattle entered a new era called the regrading years. It was a series of public works construction projects.
1910. That was after the fair.
And to establish better streets and to allow more buildings to be constructed. The Jackson Street and Dearborn Street regrades provided access to the Rainier Valley. 5 million cubic yards of earth were sluiced into the tide flats just south of King Street, creating new
you were right, Eugene.
Commercial expansion.
They were filling it in with soil.
North of the Central Business District, 3rd Avenue and 4th Avenue were regraded from the site of the King County Courthouse to the Olympic Hotel.
And that courthouse is insane.
Some streets were lowered over 20
What's that
feet.
tower? What is that?
It looks like a church.
Yeah.
During the regrading years between 1898 and 1930, over 60 regrades were accomplished. The removal of Denny Hill was the largest regrade of all. It provided better access to the north end of the city, and many new streets were graded and paved.
Pause it. The image in the link is, I think it's the Denny Hotel on top of that mound.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
Look how much higher it is than anything else. Like, what did they do to that building? They just did they demolish it?
I think they were able to like move the whole building. You know.
Excuse me?
Yeah, they can move the whole buildings down and up.
Yeah, Washington Hotel in the
Are you
background.
serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you put them like on the stilts, and then you slowly drop them one little bit
Are
at a
you
time.
seeing this building?
And I'm saying this building particularly, but I know you can do that. They used to do that back in the day. Like
But not like massive.
Yeah.
Things like this. I mean, I see houses. I see it done with houses.
Is this the building in the background? Is that still exists?
I don't think so. I think that was the Denny Hotel.
Yeah.
It was on 2nd Ave. All right.
Dude, like this. I mean, I don't know how they picked this area because this area was really fucking hilly, and then it's like they had to like do a lot of work to make it work.
And it flooded.
So that's why they elevated a couple of feet.
Well, it was a plumbing issue, they say, but the elevation. There's definitely a need for the regrade. All right.
At the south end of the city, dredging of the tide flats and enlarging Seattle's harbor facilities provided material to build Harbor Island in 1910. Further development during the years moved the Duwamish River to the west side and provided more material to enlarge the Georgetown area and to build Boeing Field. With the building of Harbor Island,
I know this bridge. This is the West Seattle Bridge. The old West. This is the old. I don't think it's an. I don't know. They used to use it for. I think this was used just for trains.
Trestles gave way to streets and bridges.
Yeah, just for train.
On Spokane Street in 1917, a low-level swing bridge was constructed over the West Waterway. In 1924, it was replaced with a higher bridge.
This is the Aurora. No, sorry. This is the the West Seattle Bridge. I think it looks like it. Or maybe Aurora? I don't know. I mean, they made some. I mean, it's still 1910. Look at how beautiful work they did. You know, with stones and Look, that little like chapel over there, next to wherever that thing is.
I think that's the
Bridge was built in 1928.
The Bridge Watcher Station, because it's a
Right, the bridge.
drawbridge.
Yeah.
And Spokane Street was regraded, widened, and paved.
Paved finally. The music is so bizarre, by the way.
I know. Still looks like
it's
shit,
a carnival.
though.
Yeah. So, yeah. Pause it. Like you said, it looks like shit, but yeah, they were building buildings like that Yesler building. And Eugene, I texted you an image of the new Yesler building that was put in place of the old one, right? And look how much different it looks.
So the picture you sent me is the old or the new one?
That's the new one. The one that is old is in the Signal. The one that looked like really crazy when the population was 1880.
Hold on.
And what's really sad about this whole thing is that right now, in that place, there's the ugliest parking garage that I've ever seen. I actually did a shoot there last week with the real estate agent, and we were like both looking at the Pioneer building. We were looking to the side of the Pioneer building. Which still exists, actually.
What building is this again?
The Yesler building. Okay, so in a Signal, I sent you guys a photo of that. Okay, it was right after the comparison photo. So there was the Berlin building, and then right next to it, after that one, black and white photo of the Yesler building. So look at the difference between the new and the old. Like just style and beauty.
Yeah, it's not. It's it's not a comparison. I mean, it's quite a comparison.
That's the new building.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like right now.
The parking garage?
Just the front of the building. Is that what you sent me?
Wait, is that it?
That's the Yesler building now?
That's the Yesler building.
I thought
that's all there is?
My bad. I thought there was a parking garage. I might be thinking of something else.
I mean, there's a parking garage down below, I believe, right?
Right next to it.
Wait, but compared to what you sent,
it
looks like nothing.
Hold on. Hold on.
It was right next to the Pioneer building.
So this is
it doesn't exist anymore, though. Okay, so what building is to the side of the Pioneer Square building?
Where? Which one?
All right, find the Pioneer building if you can. Near Pioneer Square. And it's right now it looks like red and blue and anyways.
Hold on,
I can't see shit.
It's like I'm like, what is Nord? Like, why can't? Hold on, there you go. Oh, there you go. There you go. I was like, I can't.
Like, I have no idea what's happening.
Like,
okay, yep, right next to it. Right. Okay, you see that big tall building? Okay, so yeah. Okay, so it's going to be right.
Yeah, there's the parking lot right here. Yeah.
Okay, that's the Pioneer building. Yep.
Which
yeah,
one?
that's the parking lot.
Which
parking lot?
This is Pioneer building?
Yeah, that's a triangle-shaped parking lot.
Yeah,
no, this is not Pioneer building.
Okay, good. But I do believe there was another really beautiful building there that was destroyed.
Well, this is not the Hotel Seattle in the picture.
Okay. All right. My apologies.
Because in the picture you sent me, it's like a triangle. This is a square for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that the Pioneer Building was right next to the building that was
This
where the
triangle, yeah.
parking garage currently stands.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's demolished? You sure it's not this one right here? Because this looks just like that one.
Yep, I'm sure. I'm sure.
The Yesler building.
I might have the mixed up the Yesler building with another building, but there was another really beautiful building right next to the Pioneer building, though, where the parking garage is. All right.
Hold on.
For the rabbit hole.
Hotel Seattle, 1890. Yeah. Look. You see?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you sent me, right?
Yes. So I was incorrect in saying that where the Yesler building stands, there's a parking garage. But the two buildings, they were the same building, or in that same spot. The original 1880 Yesler building, and this one.
We got it. Oh wait, it was demolished. Damaged by the 1949 Olympia earthquake. 6.7. And abandoned in 1961. The South Hotel was torn down and replaced with the parking garage. Okay.
Dude. Yeah. Okay. It is gone.
Ship.
It is gone. All right.
Okay. It was replaced with this. That's amazing. Okay. All right.
Onward.
I mean, that's it. That's pretty much it.
I like this format of just like watching and commentary. We should do more stuff like that. Just line up mini docs and just like, watch along.
I mean, there are things I didn't know about Seattle. I'm just like, that's kind of cool. Like seeing it from back then and the way they
buildings.
I'm so glad you guys are getting into it too. And I mean, this will inspire us to go on that tour, the underground.
Yes, I have not forgotten about the underground.
Should we continue, or is it over?
Oh, that was it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. All right, so do we have a couple minutes to check out what was in Oregon? If somebody could pull up the John Levy, his most recent video about Oregon.
Is it YouTube?
Yeah.
John what? Levi?
Levy. Yeah, kind of like you. Your brother from another mother.
And what? Oregon?
Just pull up his profile, and it should be the most recent video that he uploaded. Called Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
It's called Abandoned Portland, Oregon?
Yeah. You guys down to watch that?
20 minutes.
We'll break it up into chunks with our commentary. It'll go by like, I don't know.
Like shit through a tin horn.
But yeah, let's compare and contrast, Washington versus Oregon in a very similar time frame. And what was going on. What's going on?
What's going on?
And while we wait, Eugene, what are the main benefits of building your own drone versus purchasing one retail?
I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't never build mine.
My Amp Tech is building his own drone, and he says that he's doing it specifically because there are certain benefits that can be derived only if they are, if it's built. So I'll see how his turns out.
Benefits in flying, but there's no benefits in quality of. I'm flying it for the best video quality. He's not gonna get even close to anything that DJI does, because it's the drone itself. It's a computer on. It's a computer with props that actually processes the video, right? That's filmed through the camera, right? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Where if he flies it, he probably just drops like a
like a Hero 5 or 7. I don't know which one they use right now, but
I'll see. I'll see how it turns out. But he's
Or
a
you make
smart
a
guy.
like a
you
huge
could put
octocopter, and you do those custom ones. You
you
throw
could
a
if he's like real into it, he could build a bigger one and actually throw a red camera on it. And people do that. You can throw a red cam like the
Yeah.
menu the
even
red.
the XT4. That with the image stabilization,
I don't
it's
Right.
think
pretty
you.
light.
I don't think you. I don't think you want that on. You don't want image.
Hmm.
It will create wobbly.
Okay. Are we ready?
You want to because then you could do it in post.
In
You can
post.
you can fix in
I'll
post.
follow up on that project, that drone project, to see how it turned out.
Yes.
Produced.
I mean,
There
to
we
be
go.
fair, there are DJI camera is balanced on its own. Like it has like a
Yeah.
what do you call like a little like a rubber thing. So it's like on the balance.
Eugene, what if
The camera
what if
itself.
I
The camera
is it
itself.
possible to purchase a military drone
Oh
like
man,
the ones they use in Iraq?
Like a Predator.
Ooh.
dude, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it would probably be hard to like fly that shit because it's just all manual control or shit like this.
No, it's just like piloting a deep sea submarine.
with the old
Oh man.
Just PlayStation.
PlayStation controller.
It's all PlayStation.
Radio Shack.
Yeah, not even PlayStation.
All right.
PS.
Let's play, Eugene.
You don't also get like you also don't get the camera controls, right? Because you have to like for you to like have camera controls.
Yeah.
To build your own drone with camera controls, dude, that's some like next shit level. I mean that drone will cost like 10 grand minimum, to build stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's
Let me
expensive.
see how it turns out.
I mean I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna just throw a fucking what's it called the Hero 7. Who makes them?
GoPro.
GoPro. You can throw a GoPro.
That's like Hero 9.
They call it
10.
that, like yeah.
Black.
You throw a 9 and 10. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it doesn't shoot log. It doesn't shoot like or like some kind of like a flat profile. It doesn't shoot.
You could use like an A6800.
You could do that.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's real tiny.
Thanks, Eugene. I will follow up and see how it.
But then the
pans
drone.
out.
But then you're not getting gimbal control. You can't like go like this and like this and like this. The camera is only front view. You only see it FPV.
Huh.
It's FPV viewpoint only, right?
So,
And you have to mount the camera on the top of the drone, which is next to the props. So you can't really there's like things you want your
Gotcha.
camera to be underneath the drone, away from the
Think.
prop. I mean, otherwise, how
if
you gonna
if anything, I'll reach out to you. Maybe you can give him some
Raspberry
advice
Pi
if he's in a.
server.
I don't have any advices. There's a bunch of YouTube in there, but I'm just saying like
Nice.
I've seen people do it.
Yeah.
People do it for like FPV flying because you can like put bigger
First person.
batteries. Yeah, it's like you can
Yeah.
customize it. That works better for your own good, but it's not for like
Uh-huh.
it's not for filming. There's different drones for filming, different drones for like entertainment, like
Yeah.
you're just flying for fun, just kind of like
Yep. I think he wants to film. Yeah.
he wants to film.
Yeah.
For what for?
I mean,
I'll
it's
ask him how it's going for him.
FPV kind of a viewpoint is getting, it's kind of like a trendy right now. It's
Trendy?
it's like on.
Using like VR?
No. You're just putting
Or-
on sharing it online. It's trendy. It's like you're getting like the first.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
By trendy, I mean like you're flying through different obstacles and like.
It's the most expensive shot in a cinematographer's arsenal is the helicopter shot.
Yeah.
Before
bird's eye.
that, it was like he didn't even use hot air balloons. That wasn't a thing.
Crane?
But a crane
Yeah,
shot
yeah.
was the next thing because it was
Mhm.
on the ground. Like, you know, in the crane, it's like way up high above the
Above
city, and you
everybody.
follow the car in, and you go down and walk like down the street. That was amazing.
Dang, yeah. It gave you
Right? And
perspective.
now you come from above the fucking clouds.
But
You
let me
know.
let me say something really quick.
Santa Elena, historica site.
Mhm.
Hold on. Are you gonna shoot? What? Okay. Okay, hold on. What?
What?
Yeah, Paris Island.
What?
What?
What? Hold on.
What
I gotta
are you
show
contending with? What's going on, Eugene?
I'm trying to show you. Okay. Well, I guess it's the best I can get, but
Mhm.
okay, this is a movie called The Ambulance, and there's this huge guy. This is the guy who shot the whole scene with the drone.
Ambulance.
He's gonna show you the shots. There's a bunch of talking.
There's,
Oh, damn. Oh,
Okay, here you go.
they're using
Superman in a way, where I'm
Atomos.
trying to get these really unique angles
Oh.
and shots.
that's so crazy.
I fly what's called
Wow.
an FPV drone, and FPV stands for first person
Same.
view. So we wear a set of goggles on our face, and when I'm flying the drone, I'm actually flying with a VR headset, and I'm able to see exactly what the drone sees in real time. So it's a whole new arena for flying and allows us to fly in really crazy locations.
Okay, so back in the day, they just do all this green screen, but now they actually this is all real. They filmed it all while
Yeah.
he's flying.
And it gets
Whoa.
really
That
awesome
was-
shots you can't really get with any other camera or drone.
Oh, look at that. Oh, white.
You have to watch it on the big screen. The way that it was shot, that experience is just magical.
Lock everything down.
Anyway, I want to show you the
Hmm.
that. So that
That's
guy,
neat, man.
um,
Value.
that's a red camera on a
Okay.
okay, like a medium-sized drone, and he just flies it like
Uh-huh.
and it's
So-
you know.
Imagine exploring these old world buildings with a drone like that. Like close up.
Yes.
That'd be amazing.
Yes.
All right. Click play. Here we go.
Enlightenment when it's so hot and when it's so cold, and you finally
could you back up
achieve
to-
a nice
to the beginning?
temperature.
think we started
Satisfying,
maybe
the mini
15.
fridge was gurgling, as it is now. You could probably hear it. And I decided to be patient and wait for the evening. And there's a kind of induced enlightenment when it's so hot and when it's so cold, and you finally achieve a nice temperature. Suddenly, that's all that matters. Instant peace and gratitude. But it's always something, of course. There's no escaping. There's no escaping your feelings. There's only surrendering. And I'm constantly working on this. Life or the universe will mess with us until we surrender, until we let the emotions move through us and not react and try to fix things externally. Today we're going to look at Oregon. As a child, I enjoyed the now very primitive game, the Oregon Trail. But today we're going to see what Oregon was really like. Thanks for being here. God bless and welcome. Finally stop. I don't know where to start. And that's part of my formula for making my videos, is not having a formula. And I think that's why it's kind of art. Art can be working on a car, or cooking, or having a conversation. Expressing oneself is a given, whether you're aware of it or not. If you're impatient, then you'll express impatience, and it will be felt by those around you. But if you can just let go and trust in perhaps something deeper than your imposed idea of yourself, what some would call the ego or the mask. Underneath the mask, there's a part of us that I believe is divine. It's the part of ourselves that we were before we were born. and the part that we'll go back to. But anyway, here I've stumbled upon a great showcase. A little note that I scratched on a piece of paper months ago. And the note said, Portland, Oregon. These photographs we're going to look at today were taken by this man with the name of Minor White. I believe someone did some work at the Chicago World's Fair, and their name was Canvas White. Here he is. Just stupid. These really seem like made up names to me. Old Canvas here was an engineer and inventor. He designed this aqueduct for New York City from
Yeah, Croton Aqueduct.
1837 to 1842. But anyway, today we're looking at a man named Minor White. He made thousands of black and white and color photographs throughout his lifetime. He taught classes in California, Massachusetts, and was born in 1908 and died in 1976. Born in Minnesota in 1932, he still didn't know what he wanted to do. He re-entered university and studied botany and writing. Spent a couple years doing odd
That's a winner.
jobs and exploring his writing
He does look somebody who lives in Oregon, though.
Yeah,
100%.
skills. And all this going nowhere, he decides to buy a camera in 1937, hopped on a bus, and headed for Portland, Oregon. He lived at the YMCA and began to explore photography. This is in the first year. In 1938, he was offered a job as a photographer for the
Infrared.
Oregon Art Project,
Mhm.
funded by the WPA. How convenient. So here this WPA hires this guy with essentially no experience. Only a year before this, he bought his first camera. And they give him an assignment to photograph historic buildings in downtown Portland before they were demolished for a stupid riverfront development. So there we go. Whatever. He would only live another 30 years. That's it. This is his first gig, and that's what we're going to explore today. From 1938 to 1940, Minor White photographed the Portland waterfront and iconic cast iron buildings that were soon to be demolished. The negatives include
you guys hear that?
210.
What?
Cast iron buildings?
buildings. Have you ever heard of anything like that?
First time.
Dang. That's... Yeah. Alright, onward.
Images, which are now available to view in this collection. And here's what somebody said about this collection. In January 2020, I began working as the digital collection assistant at the Historical Society. One of my first projects was to digitize the Minor White negatives. Before working with the collection, I had heard of the photographer, but did not know much about him or his work. As soon as I saw his images of Portland, I fell in love with his photography of a cityscape that no longer exists. Yeah, and so did I. And here we can see a little look in 1939. 1939. So late. And this is my personal theory, is the timeline begins for us even later. We're told all these stories in 1850 and early 1900s, and yet I don't think things really get rolling until the late 1930s, as we see here. Here we have abandoned downtown Portland. So late, so late in the game. 1939, a view of cast iron buildings on Front Avenue. I mean, could you pull this off today? Just get everybody off of the streets, clear out every building? Or has this city been abandoned for at least 100 years? The amazing thing is it's in absolutely beautiful shape. The streets, no mud, just clean as could be. A little pile of debris here, a couple guys having a chat. So, what do you think we should do with all this? Oh, demolish it. Demolish it? Cast iron buildings looking like this? Who would think of demolishing all of this? A whole
Doesn't make any
city here.
sense.
Anyway, Minor White. Here, this photographer's first job,
Corva.
hired by the WPA. They send him out to take
And this is
pictures
for a
of this city and these
side
buildings
development.
before they demolish
They're knocking them
everything.
down.
Here again, 1930. These were buildings
what were they
constructed in the mid to late 1800s. They're still so new, according to their narrative.
1800s? Man, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
What does it even
Cast
mean?
iron.
Like cast iron building.
Oh, Eugene, do you have a cast iron pan?
I know what a cast iron pan is, but building?
Yeah. Well, imagine your pan, but a building.
Mold. And they cast the iron into that mold piece after piece.
Cast iron architecture. Okay. Its use of it is the use of cast iron in building as an object ranging from bridges and markets to warehouses, balconies, and fences. Okay, it was refinements developed during the Industrial Revolution in late 1800s. Made cast iron. 1 second. Cheap. Okay, it was cheap and sustainable for a range of uses. So it's not good for structural material for handling tension or bending because it's brittle and relatively low tension strength. Oh, however, cast iron does have good compression strength and was successfully used for structural components that were largely in compression and in well-designed bridges and buildings.
Yes.
Interesting.
So like load-bearing walls, pillars, that kind of stuff. And you use steel more because you could build them taller. You could have wind flexion, and it would break an iron building, right? It wouldn't have enough flex in the alloy to move with, earthquakes and wind shear.
But buildings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really used in building.
The building's like a sail, right? So you have to accommodate the tension of all the pressure of the air and gusts, over the large surface area that bends the shit out of your building.
So maybe that's why they were taking them down, because they're just not really good for like longer term.
Maybe earthquake stuff.
Yeah. Huh.
But they look fine.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, fine. Well, from outside, but I mean, you can definitely tell there's definitely like there's definitely bricks, but it's like cast iron frame. Or is that what I mean by the frame itself?
Cast iron was used as a facade, I believe. I think there was brickwork, and then on the outside there's probably cast iron, but it's a guess.
Yeah. There's usually bricks
Here we can see how absolutely thick this wall is. How many layers of bricks? At least 3. And these facades, so old, still having glass in them. Looking kind of shiny up here, but the glass on the bottom down here looks very dull, no shine. And in fact, the weathering is much greater down here. The weathering on the windows and facade. And look at this. Here we have square windows, then becoming arched, and then becoming like really arched, cathedral style. And here is just an example of the ornate detail on a chunk of cast iron. Look at this, a piece has broken off, and we still see how thick and dense it truly is. This is no joke here. 1800s building in an old west town whose inhabitants forged rivers with oxen. And back here, this building is missing all its windows and just nobody on the streets. I think this is a child right here. I think. Sad, wondering where everybody is. And they tell us this cast iron pillar was from the Opitz building. This photo was taken in 1939. How is this possible? Here a picture with some lights. 1939. And Salt Lake has something like this, not far from the temple. Clearly some kind of tech over the top, and really sophisticated buildings. And look down here. Look at the store that somebody has made. What a dump, just not belonging. Even here, a restaurant, eat, great. And then this. And it looks like somebody has refitted these windows. Here we can see some kind of ball, not looking like a light, and right above it, kind of a bell. Really fancy crown for this tech. So here's a cast iron doorway. Look at this thing. And here we can get a feel for something that has happened here. This road and dirt, and the paint is peeling off this door here. And was this door the original door? You can see it's a huge opening with how low the handle is. And the door sucks compared to the facade of this building. Super high tech. And what about here? This door doesn't make any sense, but actually
That's
looking better than the
crazy.
door below it. And an interesting kind of trident symbol here. I'm not sure. Kind of looking like a type of fleur de lis, and also a little dragon-like. Here, the demolishing has begun, and really we've discussed it in past videos, but I don't think they're demolishing them. I think they're taking them apart and selling off the different parts. You can see here they're stacking the wood nicely. So they're just going to sell this, salvage as much of the bricks, and probably crush this back up and turn it into Portland cement. But here we go. Interesting. Way back we see a sign 76 gasoline. Really interesting. I always thought 76 gas started in 1976, but here we're in 1930. So now we'll blast through some of these pictures. Here we see the Pioneer Courthouse. Again, the courthouse. The Cook Building door, busted up. They have some wood up in this corner in place of a window pane. And look at this detail. I mean, Portland, Oregon could not be any more Old West. And yet that is not what we see here. Not at all. I mean, how does this make any sense? Oh, I live on the 4th floor of that little castle. Here we see the Portland Hotel. Looks like a bunch of brick. And here's Southwest 1st Avenue. So they were telling us these are cast iron facades. But what I see when we zoom in here is brick with a facade on top. Not a very thick one. And what is going on with this facade? Just peeling away, almost dripping. And I don't know. I see some gargoyle action here and here. Okay, so we have a man right here in this building. I mean, come on. How
the doors on that
boarded
building,
up could it be? It looks like the windows have just been painted.
18 feet
Let's
tall.
have a closer look. I'm not sure. Either that or they've been doctored. What about this symbol here? Okay, so we have a medical symbol on this abandoned building. Really interesting. The caduceus and some scrolls. It's super detail. Up here it's been painted. The paint is peeling off. And I think this man is remarking that there's another level under here. Or woman. Actually, I think it is a woman. But has no one to discuss it with. What about this symbol? Just looking like a spring, but just an artistic depiction of a spring. Here we have some really advanced retractable bridge. I had one of these growing up in Atlantic City as a child. It always fascinated me. And really over the top, looking like some Richardsonian blockage. I mean, nothing cheap here. And the complexity here. An early, abandoned-looking Portland. Here they call this the Allen and Lewis block. So here we go. Drying clothes on a line. I mean, having a little house on the prairie experience here. Perhaps fresh off the Oregon Trail. Wishing they could live in one of these little apartments that they're soon going to demolish. And I like drying my clothes on a line. I haven't done it in years. And mind you, once again, this is all the photography of this man, Minor White. the unexperienced photographer hired by the WPA to showcase the district that they would soon demolish. No, there's nothing strange about that, of course. Really great
It
resolution.
looks like
Just
models.
a great find. And I don't know, I feel like I don't have to press anything. I would just like to let these images speak for themselves. And as always, let you decide. I mean, what did somebody just say? Let's buy everybody out. Let's evict every single person in this building, in this building, in this building. They all agree? 1930, I'd be very happy to live up here. Very high society. If we're to believe the narrative,
True.
rent was probably $1 a month. No, nobody's kicking me out of this building. But what we see is nobody has been freshly evicted. No, these boards have been here for at least 30 years. And again, I believe a lot of these windows that were not busted were simply painted. Somebody was protecting their inheritance until this demolition. Here we can see something that they titled Cast Iron Pillar, and again, when I look at it, I see brick, more brick, some kind of stucco render. And here, maybe this is cast iron? The California Foundry, San Francisco? Would there be any benefit to telling us it's all cast iron? I don't know. Here I think I see my first legitimate building, at least for this era, a little shack. And yet even this shack has been here for a long time. I mean, look at this tree growing right up against it. At least a 50-year-old tree, at least. Here we see one called the Snow Building. Painted windows, very ornate. Here the Lad Building. You can see this wooden knob. Perhaps it's metal, and it has been painted, and then somebody opened it a little too soon before the paint dried. Very crude keyhole right here. Here we see the Cam Building, Cam with a K, and just absolutely overkill again for a young, blossoming Portland, Oregon. I mean, what? And how absolutely sad that something should be so breathtakingly beautiful in young and early Oregon, and it's all set to be demolished. I mean, look at this, even on the inside, the detail. Tech all over the thing. I don't know. Like I said, I would prefer to let this evidence speak for itself. So here's the Opitz building being demolished. Millions of bricks, and you can see how they're stacking everything. The demolition business was the repurposement business. All of this would be resold as new building material. And here a little zoom in. We see the brick, the mortar,
Composite.
facades. And
There
I
was initiative then
to look
to
into the
take them apart because they're essentially a, a huge storehouse of resources, which if resold, you know, cost a pretty penny. I mean, it's like so much material, so many square feet, so much metal, so much brick. It had to come from somewhere.
Wait, so you're saying like no one lived there in those buildings?
No, what I'm saying is that there was incentive to destroy them. But ownership, I don't know, man. Like,
I mean,
if ownership was not like eminent, this like, then whoever found the building could be like, oh, it's like what happened to the pyramids. It was used, the limestone on the pyramids of Giza were used to build Cairo.
right.
Yeah. All right.
Well, they're saying they're building 1800s, so I guess.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I know.
100 years later. They're demolishing them 100 years later. And building what? Like, what are they building back, right? Because they obviously built something back, right?
Shithole.
Yeah.
Well, what about the Hagia Sophia? I mean, it was a cathedral, and then it had some minarets added for prayer call, and it became a mosque. Can you make it what it was again? Like, how do you change something back? Demolish it, right?
And
But why
I'm
would
sure
you demolish it?
I'm sure they were so complex that if any maintenance needed to be done, I'm sure they had no idea how to even go about it, how to work with the material. That's a guess.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they didn't really know what they had. Maybe that's it, or maybe
it was beyond them to repair. You know? Okay.
Well, maybe actually I don't know, man. Like I just think, well, it'll be easier for them to like take down the old buildings and then build the new one with the new what is it called?
Repurposed material, you mean?
No, with the
Not new
new
material.
new technology, like a new like the maybe like lines for lines for power or like water, like you know what I'm saying, like instead of like
Plumbing.
yeah, instead of like have to like repurpose an old building to make it more modern. It's just easy to just demolish it and then just build old from the ground up, like with with new.
Well, it depends on when that building was built.
I mean, if it was built 100 years ago,
the quality of the construction. If it was built in the in the 1960s, it's probably easier to just demolish it. Built in the 70s or 80s, but if it was built in the 1700s, I think you probably want to just run some water lines somewhere, as opposed to demolish it and build a new building, right? So if it's something of enough value,
well, this can be 1700s, right? This has to be 1800s because it's all cast iron.
Right. Well, so I'm giving an example of like an extreme. So at a certain point, you're saving that shit no matter what, because it lasted that long. First of all,
right? If it's like I mean, if it's like some kind of like a I don't know, historical kind of a building, then yeah, for sure. But,
right.
I mean, those buildings now would be if those buildings were not demolished, they would be considered historical, right?
Well, there's a reason why they were photographed prior to being demolished.
Right. Why then?
To have a record.
As a warning.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
History
Roll the clip, Jamie.
Of Oregon, as far as the state goes. But no doubt I'll have to. When we see a city like this being demolished, nobody in the streets, I can't help but feel like we're staring at a smoking blank. Look at the sculptures on these columns. It's out of control. Go Portland. Can you imagine? Look at all of this. Chief gets annoyed with me. And he's right. We've seen this before. The Star Block. I think we watched the Star Theater being systematically demolished once. Not the best resolution in this one. Looks like a cornucopia of fruit spilling out of this arch. And here we go. So you want to talk about the people not having the ability to build all of this and move all this material in place. Well, here they are in the 30s, hauling the building away, brick by brick. There it is. This guy's got pretty good load on here. I imagine he'll probably double it. And these bricks came from the top here. Here we go. Just crudely knocking them off and loading them onto that little truck down there. Little flatbed pickup. An absolute awe this evening. And here again we see the caduceus. Was this a medical building? We have a 6'3" right here. I don't think it's original. And here's a building on Decum and Reed, or the Reed block. So again, the whole building is a block, soon to be demolished. And what a great thing that somehow were able to see these. Some man or woman only recently, in 2020, found these negatives and made them available,
Wow.
turning them into a digital format for us. Unbelievable. I mean, these are fresh pictures. And thank you, whoever made this possible, whether consciously or unconsciously. Serving the good, in my opinion. So here we go. This is the top of this building. And here we can see ironwork, but otherwise just a bunch of brick and cement. And I think I'll just wrap it up with this picture. We see a date of 884. We see a building that looks to be at least 300 years old, having a very cathedral-like feel.
Wow.
And the windows are bricked up, yet all the facade has peeled off of the brick, revealing the true age of this building, in my opinion. And here again, they've stacked the usable material, waiting for that flatbed pickup to show up. And finally, the streets are made of 100% brick. Old brick, old rails in place. And I think they turned this into a waterfront development. So perhaps they just flooded everything in after demolition. So that's it. I'm not sure why I am going long on these videos. I guess it's all just really interesting. But there's always...
Yeah, so that's Oregon. Cast iron Oregon, huh?
That's crazy, man.
I'm glad those photos surfaced, you know? Who knows, maybe they... I mean, were they meant to be in the public archives, or were they accidentally kind of publicized by whoever found them? That's another question. Because the person who digitized them was the one who shared them, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you gotta find them, but yeah, they're probably somewhere living on them. I know, man. It's a
It's history. His story.
His, yes. I prefer her story.
Her story. Anyways, gentlemen, thanks for hanging out. You guys have anything else you wanna jump on today? It was a nice watch along / commentary about some history.
we got into a rabbit hole, yes.
Yeah, we'll do the tour sometime. We can see it with our own eyes. There's old photographs down there apparently. Like, so as we're doing the tour, we can kind of snap some photos of historical.
Yes, I'd like that. Explore the underbelly.
I was telling Eugene when we went climbing about a conversation I had with a girl. It's an interesting conversation because she was telling me about the patriarchy and how all men unconsciously hate women, and then we got into a discussion about that and other things. But yeah, I'll have to tell it to you sometime. But the way it ended or where it went was very unexpected. But let me just I'll do a teaser. I'll give you a teaser. She said, well, maybe if your parents and grandparents didn't resist communism, it would have worked. And I was telling her how not everybody commits to the mainstream narrative, mainstream ideology, and how dangerous ideology was, and how it can possess people and lead to
maybe maybe if all the Jewish people just locked themselves into those gas chambers, maybe there won't be a Second World War II.
Maybe so.
Oh,
if they stopped resisting.
Yeah.
Look, we wouldn't have to force you if you just went along with it.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to vaccinate you. Quote of the day? Anybody?
You have to burn the buildings down if you vaccinate yourself.
Yeah, the caduceus, the medical thing, like isn't it also like a Masonic symbol?
Where it
Hermetic,
originated from
because
was from the Old
Hermes.
Testament. In the Old Testament, when the Jews were out in the desert, they were getting bit by snakes, and people were dying. So the Jews came to Aaron. Aaron and Moses were brothers, and they were kind of leading the people out. And they're like, "Hey, we're all dying from these snake bites." So he made a staff with the caduceus, so that's the story we're told. And he said, "Whoever is bitten by a snake, look at that staff." And on that staff was that caduceus, and apparently that prevented them from dying when they were bitten by snakes. I don't know if that's some sort of weird metaphor, but right now, to this day, every medical establishment, not every, but most medical establishments, like, they use the symbol of the caduceus for medical, as a medical omen symbol.
Yeah, a medical intervention. Yeah, it's interesting.
Something from the Old Testament to be, universally accepted as the symbol for medicine. That's pretty odd.
Is it prevention? Isn't the medicine that's being given is prevention, right? It's preventing them from being bitten. So is it that's a ward, right? When I'm trying to remember.
I think it was after they were bitten. They would look at it.
Is it after they were bitten?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't preventative, no. It was like, you get bit by a snake, you better keep your eyes on that pole, or otherwise you're gonna perish. Yeah. All right, quote of the day. I have some.
Can you guys imagine the Native Americans who lived here seeing like the number of people moving here, like in Seattle, and just like by 1,000, they probably just freaking fuck out. It's like, where are they guys coming from?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were scared.
All right, I'm reading from a book called The Compendium of Occult Law by Swinburne Climber. This. And in it, he has various chapters on different things. So, I'll make you, or I'll let you choose. So the spiritual still unexplored chapter, or the divine tragedy. It's like little bits.
I'm gonna go divine tragedy.
The divine tragedy. Here it is. All right. Laws stern and immutable, principles strict and unwavering and unvarying, must underlie a scheme in which millions of worlds are in action. Yet the whole drama is conducted in the most unbroken system of harmony and power. To arrive at any just idea of causation, it must be accepted as a truth that well-defined mathematical qualities and geometrical proportions must be the underlying principles of this stupendous chain of being, all moving, living, and acting, severally, severely, and singly in the most unbroken power of perfection. Every sound in the universe must conform to the harmonic rule. Every shade of color must combine to produce the totality of pure white light. Every creature must be a definite part. Everything an organ belonging to the vast whole, as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, governed by a law so absolute and perfect that there is not a moment's deviation year in, year out. So is governed this vast universe and all that is in it, save man alone, who, given free will, abuses his divine legacy ignores all the laws, and instead of becoming a god, as he was destined from the beginning, that's interesting, succeeds in nothing more than destroying himself. This is the divine tragedy. To accept the law, apply it in his own behalf, attain his inheritance, and become one in the divine harmony. In the initiation as its aim and object, this high ideal.
Wow.
And one more from the Book of the Tao, just real quick.
Quite an initiation.
Yeah, here it goes. Okay. When force is used frequently, people stop fearing it. Then trouble begins. So the sage avoids trouble by avoiding force. When force is not used, people do not resist. What is not resisted cannot be opposed. Therefore, the sage relies on the hidden rather than the apparent, trusts the inner rather than the outer, and by doing nothing, order maintains itself.
Yeah, also, I could see that too, by doing nothing. Man, the Tao.
Yes, but I'm glad I'm finding some of these super old postcards
Yes,
that
I remember
detail these
seeing
buildings.
you showed us that one.
Yes, we'll have to do a tea session and just like look through them. Some of them are very intricate. I believe this one is in Germany. It's called DREGOM. Film. It's in Mainz. Thanks for hanging out, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you.
I do like this format of just kind of like watching along and commenting and.
Yeah, watch alongs, man. That's
next time
good.
we'll. We should plan next something short.
Yes.
Yes. Everyone bring something. I have some things to share. Yeah. Okay.
Good night, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.